Hello and welcome to part 2 of test 3 for Math 0028. The first question in this one is going to be something like I over R equals P, and we have to solve for R. So the first thing we're going to do is multiply both sides by R because we want it in the numerator. So when we do that, we're going to be left, these will cancel. We're going to be left with I equals PR, divide both sides by P, and R will equal I over P. Then we're going to be given a whole bunch of or a few square roots to do. So square root of 9 equals 3, square root of 25 equals 5, square root of 9, x to the 42, square root of 9 is just 3 again, square root of 42, or x to the 42, since 42 is even, we just divide it by 2, so it's going to be x to the 21. Then we have 25, x to the 18, square root of 25 is 5, x, 18 divided by 2 is 9. Then we're going to have some that aren't perfect squares. So let's say that we have square root of 32, x to the 21. So we're going to find a perfect square that goes into 32. The biggest one is 16. So we're going to rewrite this as 16 times 2, and then times x. 21 minus 1 is 20, and then just x to the 1. So now we can take the square root of 16, which is 4, x to the 20 becomes x to the 10, and then still inside the parentheses, or the square root is the 2 and the x. Then let's say that we have x to the 18 over x to the 10, square root of all that. First thing to do is to simplify what's in there, if we can, and we can here. So x to the 18 over x to the 10 is the same as x to the 18 minus 10, which is x to the 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4, so the answer will just be x to the 4. Next, we're going to be given something like negative 8 square root of 7 plus 3 square root of 13 minus 5 square root of 13 minus 7 square root of 7. All we're supposed to do here is combine like terms. So we can combine the negative 8 square root of 7 and negative 7 square root of 7, and the 3 square root of 13 and the negative 5 square root of 13. So when we do that, minus 8 minus 7, negative 15 square root of 7, 3 minus 5 is minus 2 square root of 13. And that's all we do there. Next we have something like square root of 5 times square root of 35. The easiest way to do this is we know that 5 will go into 35. So we can change this to be square root of 5 times square root of 5 times square root of 7. Square root of 5 times square root of 5 is just 5. And we're left with square root of 7. The other way to do that would be 5 times 35, and then try to figure out what the biggest square, perfect square that goes into that is. Next, we have 3 square root of 3 times 4 square root of 6. If we do the same thing, 3 square root of 3 times 4 square root of 3 square root of 2. Now we can say that 3 times 4 is 12. Square root of 3 times square root of 3 is 3, and then we're left with square root of 2. 12 times 3 is 36 square root of 2. Then let's say that we have negative 3 plus square root of 2 times 8 plus square root of 2. So here we're going to go back to using the FOIL. So negative 3 times 8 is negative 24. Negative 3 times square root of 2 is minus 3 square root of 2. Square root of 2 times 8 is plus 8 square root of 2. Square root of 2 times square root of 2 becomes plus 2. Now combine like terms. Negative 24 plus 2 is negative 22. Negative 3 square root of 2 plus 8 square root of 2 is plus 5 square root of 2. Then we have one like this, where we have square root of 3 times the sum of square root of 30 plus square root of 245. Best way to do this, 3 does go into 30. It doesn't go into 245, but let's change this one first to square root of 3 times 10 plus square root of 49 will go into 245. So I'm going to change this to be 5 times 49. If you get a number that's big like this, look for some perfect square that will go into it. There should be one there. So square root of 3 times square root of 3 is 3 square root of 10. And plus, we can take the square root of 49, which is 7. We're left with square root of 5. And that's as far as we go on here, because 10 and 5 are not the same as each other. Then, we're going to have something like square root of 3 over 13. We can't do anything with it as it is, so we're going to have to rationalize it. To make it easier, let's rewrite it as square root of 3 over square root of 13. So we're going to multiply both top and bottom by square root of 13. When we do that, the top is going to be square root of 39. The bottom is just going to be 13. We can't do anything with square root of 39 because it's not a perfect square, nor does a perfect square go into it. So that's as far as we go. And that's it for test number 3. Practice these problems and do them over and over until you're really good at them, and you'll do great on this test.